Is such a strong team and so fast and have so many threats offensively that the game plan was just to contain, keep them out of our defensive end as much as possible, and then really possess it in our offensive end. And I think one of the things that we did right was never gave up during, and just the draw control, really trying to make sure we won the draw and then capitalize on it. But we, throughout the game, we went down, we tied it. I thought defense was really strong for us because they are a terrific offensive team. And I think, when we lost the ball in our offensive end. But I think terrific performances by my goalie, Grace Gunning. She had 7 saves, I think. Mary Connell had 3 goals and 2 assists, being face guarded. Maeve Denigan, I thought, was tremendous on attack for us. I thought our low attack redefended really quickly to swarm them, to shut them down, so that the transition downfield was a little bit slower, because they do have such good speed. Caroline Walsh had 2, that Rachel Delaney in that final play on Rachel, and then Catherine Connerty hitting that 8-meter, late in the game. Niece. Yeah, Niece, yeah. And then just Maddie Ward had 2 goals. But when you look at our goal scorers, they're all throughout. I mean, we had 8 different people score, which that's, what we work on because we know Mary's going to be face guarded or Maddie's going to be face guarded. So it really, we are working hard for different people score. So.
It seemed like Rachel was in Murphy's pocket all game.
Yeah. We practice. We have a lefty on our team too, so she face guarded her for the last 2 days just to simulate that face guard. Bye, girls. Thank you for coming. I'm on tape. No. Tomorrow. Practice. Yes. So just to simulate what we need to work on. So yes, we face guarded Hannah because she was their biggest. She's their leading goal scorer. So to contain her to 3, was terrific today. So.
Coach, you were down 2 goals. You were able to get that turnover and scoring when the falling draw. What was the defensive look there when you guys got that turnover for the the first goal before you tied it? Before you won the draw and tied it, yeah.
We got the ball back, you mean, defensively? Yeah. I think it was just strong defense. We went into a double because they were in a stall. Yeah. So we just went into a double and played clean body defense and was able to get it back, So that was so strong for us to... Is that what you're talking about down there? Yeah. And I think, and just capitalizing and getting upfield. And they pressured us throughout, so I think we just made good decisions there late in the game.
It seemed like it almost got away from you at a couple different points. They rattled off 3 or 4 straight goals at a couple different points in the game. What did you do to kind of stop the bleeding?
I called timeout. We didn't want to in the regular season. They got 4 on us, and then we battled back. But I knew in a tournament situation, if they get 4 or 5, just mentally very difficult to recover from. So we just really, at those timeouts, just said, this is a turning point. This is really important that you win the draw and capitalize in the offensive end and not force errors over here.
End of the game, they're kind of just wasting the clock out.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? What was your strategy there? Did you see something like that end up happening where they got a...
Yeah, we do situational plays all the time in practice in terms of we are down by 1 or 2 with 2 minutes left and they go into a stall. So I knew that they were going to go into a stall, and that, obviously a smart play. You're up, and so I just think that our defense played really smart to attack the ball but not to have a penalty, and I think Grace Gunning was a huge part of that. She comes out of the cage to be an 8th defender when we double, and that's a big part too, so I think in that aspect we did a really good job showing discipline, but at the same time aggressiveness to regain it, because at that time you need to win it back.
What was the call there for the penalty down?
That was an illegal pick. Illegal pick on the left corner. Oh, thank you, Tad. Thanks for coming. Yeah. Illegal pick, so on the opposite side.
And Rachel's a defender. That doesn't have too many scoring chances. At what point did you realize that she was going to be the one that ends up taking the shot?
Well, you know what? In practice, it's great because we have everybody shooting and everybody playing defense, because in lacrosse, that is a situation that can happen. So we say you have to be confident with the ball, taking it to cage, and that's exactly what she did. And honestly, I was so happy to see that foul was on Rachel because of her speed, her tenacity, and her mental toughness to that cage. So.
Coach, you mentioned your players after the game, the team in the past, and what you showed them before the game. What was specifics of that?
Yeah, we just talked about the last time we saw Duxbury in the South Finals 2 years ago, and we lost to the same score by 1 over there. So we just talked about that and getting that back. And these seniors, when these seniors were freshmen, we won the state. And, that was the goal from the beginning. But we knew it was going to be very difficult getting through the South, and we needed to get through Duxbury in order to get to that state final game. So, I think I think at times we've heard from the sidelines 2. That was the number 2 that needed to come off the wall today, because we put on at the beginning of the season we put postseason, 5 numbers what it was going to take to get to tournament. So today was number 2, and now we have 1 left. So, I think just little motivating factors like that to remind them what we're working for.
You showed them an old newspaper clipping, correct?
Yes, from the
was
Mariner. It was when we show it to you? It was just said state champs or champions, and and it was just like a motivator that we want to be those kids again. We want to be that team, and Duxbury's certainly such a strong program, and and it was going to take a really tough game, and we work hard for that reason. So.
I guess just how nice is it to have a player like Rachel? I mean, they got a great offensive player. I mean, in 2 sports for you, really.
Oh, she's tremendous. She really is unsung hero in my mind. I mean, a tremendous, tremendous athlete, mentally and physically, and obviously by that last play. But just, her transition, her quickness to the ball, shutting down defenders, and then on the opposite side, attacking, So.